Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys. Well, from the purple room of TGIA Tower here in Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank.
I'm Dan.
Coming up on today's episode, Noah! Yeah, I went the wrong direction.
You did.
Noah's definitely
Noah,
more in the chest.
Noah, you must do my bidding. And my bidding is awful.
You know, I hate that conception of God. I would prefer more of a Noah.
Of course
Time
you
to
would.
build an ark.
Okay, here's the deal. You're going to think I'm crazy, right? But I want you to build this huge boat. I like the biggest boat you can imagine. Take all of the boats you've ever seen in your life and double them and then put them all together.
And then we're gonna have animals.
It's going to be so much fun. I can't even handle
party. Animal party.
Oh, gay God.
Disco arc.
Gay God and Disco Arc. That's look for that film coming out in late 2015.
It'll take a while to write that script. Oh my God.
And thou shalt go and gather every fabulous thing you can get your hands on.
I want that animal and that. No, not that animal.
I made that.
He's looking at me weird. That animal doesn't get to live.
That's right.
Kick him off.
I made that one extra pretty. We're putting him in the front.
Llamas.
Oh dear. That's why all the parrots survived.
Yeah.
They're rainbow colored.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Well, Dan.
Welcome into the world, people. Here we are, just living our lives in the world. I'm gonna start with a story from Texas.
Okay.
You remember you and I were in Houston a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm. It's a big city, Dan.
It's a very large city.
Sprawly.
Yeah.
Just keeps going.
Texas-y. It's as Texas-y as you please.
Texas-y. Yeah.
It's very oil industry heavy. We met some amazing people there. Hi to all of
Hello, everyone.
our Houston people. Anyway, we also drove past Joel Osteen's megachurch.
Oh yeah.
You remember this?
I do.
The former home of the Houston Rockets. The basketball stadium that now is converted into a giant church stadium.
Yeah. I think arena church is always a nice way to go.
Yeah, sure. That's what you want. That's what you want.
20,000 people. How many does it seat? It's something like that.
Oh,
right?
it's got to be more than that. I'm thinking 30.
30,000 people.
I'm thinking 30.
Big stage.
Sure.
Big stage. Lots of lights.
Yeah.
Cameras.
Well,
Special effects.
You
Are there
got to have a
special effects?
lot of room to house that smile. That Osteen smile, it's so big. Anyway, I'll tell you what else it houses.
What?
$600,000, or rather, it did until it was all stolen.
$600,000.
Somebody stole $600,000 worth of cash and check donations from the Lakewood Church in Houston.
What? Was that? Wait a second. You mean from the collection plate?
It was one weekend's collection.
$600,000.
$600,000 was a single weekend's collection.
Well, you know the utilities bill on that place is crazy.
I mean, can you imagine most churches? I'm guessing they don't get that. Like a single location doesn't get that in a year.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
That's one weekend,
Holy
folks.
mackerel.
Now, fortunately for them, only about $200,000 of it was cash.
Yeah.
The rest of it was in the form of checks. So those they'll be okay.
Do they have like collection plate insurance?
Oh, you know they do. Of course they do. This is not going to hurt the Osteens at all. They're
Lloyd's of London is receiving a phone call.
Right,
as we
exactly.
speak.
Exactly. Lloyd's of Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, that's apparently somebody just up and walked out with it. So I'm guessing it was an inside job, is what I'm guessing.
It was Sherry.
Sherry?
Isn't that the wife?
She's yeah.
Joel and Sherry. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Joel and Jenny. Joel and Nancy.
No, it's definitely not Nancy.
Joel and Becca.
Becca. We'll go with Becca. It was his wife. I like that idea that they made off with it.
Oh yeah.
Because that
she needs some new bling. It is Texas.
It is Texas.
She needs a new hairdo, big hair,
big hair,
and a lot of bling.
That's $200,000 hair there, people.
I would. It's Texas.
It is Texas. I just thought that. I mean, I certainly do not condone theft, and this is not about me like Schadenfreude for them having lost this money, but $600,000.
Oh, come on, Dan. There's some Schadenfreude.
No, I mean, this doesn't hurt them at all. This does not hurt the Osteens in the slightest.
So you cannot delight in their misfortune because
there is no misfortune. I don't have the opportunity for Schadenfreude at this point.
I guarantee you that their annual budget, at least they were counting on that money. They need a big haul.
I'm telling you, insurance is paying these guys back. And,
you think so?
And not only that. Here's the other thing that's going to be happening. Not only will they be compensated by their...
I was joking about the insurance.
No,
you really think there's insurance on that?
Of course they're insured. I mean, even if it's just the insurance for the building, they're insured for theft.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
So not only are they going to be compensated for the money, I was
fixated on like collection plate insurance, but no, you're right. The property insurance,
right? But here's the other upside for the Osteens. From now, for the next couple weeks, they get to cry and weep about, our collection was stolen. Our collection was stolen. And they won't make it out to be like, you guys need to give more.
We're in dire straits now.
They won't make it out like that. But their parishioners will get the message, oh shit, we need to give more. It was taken. No. They need that money. So I think they end up on top on this one.
You know what? It reminds me of, of that what is it? Where is it that says the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away?
The Lord giveth, yeah, exactly.
I think the Lord took it.
The Lord was like, you are done with this. And it disappeared from the safe.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How seriously, with that amount of cash flow and the sort of the savviness that these people clearly have,
right?
How was there not like cameras picking up who it was?
Well, we don't know that there wasn't.
Oh, somebody's losing their knees this week?
Maybe. I don't know.
the conservative Christian mafia.
The Lakewood Church has not commented heavily about this. So, yeah, I mean, there may be some True Detective shit happening on this one. We'll see.
That's season 2.
Yeah, exactly. Season 2. True Detective Osteen.
All right. Well, I have the story of something not lost but found, actually.
Ooh.
This I'm just going to read the headline because it was the headline that got my attention.
Oh, okay.
German customs seizes cocaine addressed to Vatican.
Yeah.
That's correct. 340 grams or 12 ounces of cocaine packed into 14 condoms.
Wow.
That was inside of a shipment of cushions coming from South America.
Right.
And addressed simply to the Vatican post office, meaning any resident
right.
of the Vatican could have picked it up, could have claimed it.
Meaning there was a guy whose plan was to go, if my cushions are coming yet, I'm looking for the cushions. I got the cushions. I ordered them from the Colombia. You got the cushions? I really needed these cushions. These cushions is very important to me.
I have a bigger weekend coming up. I need my cushions. Lots of sitting. Lots of seating.
It's a good plan. It's a good plan.
Lots of seating and snorting.
At which point the person, the worker at the post office says, "No, Pope Benedict, it's not come yet."
No, this is clearly for Pope Benedict.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
exactly. Ratzinger is like, "Where are the cushions?"
They are from Germany.
They went through Germany.
Yeah.
I have ordered some cushions. They are coming from my cousin. Will you tell me when they arrive, please?
They are Versace. Versace cushions coming from South America.
Please do nothing to interrupt the flow of the cushions. Please do not inspect the cushions as they are fluffed properly for my head already.
And the embroidery is very fragile.
Fragile. Fragile. I am Mr. Pope. We don't have no cushions. They were stopped, I'm afraid.
The red flag, if it was the Pope picking it up, would have been the fact that they were cushions.
Yeah.
He lives too far of an austere life.
Oh yeah, they would have been like,
that's what he's saving. That's where he's spending all his money.
on cocaine.
On
Well, no, I
drugs.
would. That's how Francis is spending his money.
Yeah.
We're talking about Benedict.
Well, I went to the Pope.
Okay.
Yeah, the current Pope.
Maybe
I
they-
guess there are two popes. I see the confusion.
Yes. Yeah. I think that both of the popes get together for like cocained out crazy like priest sex nights.
Whoa. Oh,
Dan Brown, get on it.
Yeah.
Cocaine in the White House.
Well, I mean, no, it's clear. Oh, no. This is
White House,
clearly-
not White House, the Vatican. Why did I
This
say
is
the White House?
clearly the Vatican's gay lobby. The gay members. If we know anything from the gay community at large,
Yes, exactly. There is a rave happening. There's some section of the Vatican that even Dan Brown doesn't know about. That's it doesn't even have a name.
no, it's Club Cloister.
Club.
Cloister.
And when you go in there, when you get there, you have to give whatever the password is, and then as you approach, you start hearing this.
Yeah, they just call it the crypt.
The crypt. That's right. Oh my God, are you going to the
Peter's.
crypt tonight?
Peter's
Crypt.
Peters and Paul's.
Paul's Peter.
Oh my God, I know too much about Rome. They just keep coming to me.
Frank is now going to move back to Rome to start an industry.
Yeah.
Priest-related gay clubs. I mean, I don't think can anyone be. Here's the only surprising thing about this cocaine story, really, is that they're that sloppy about it. Like you would think that the Vatican has.
Well,
just
here's the deal,
ways.
Dan. I didn't finish the story.
Oh, okay. There's more, but
So-
wait, there's more.
The German officials set up a sting operation
Oh,
that they arranged with Vatican police.
Oh,
However, it failed
of course
to
it.
nab the intended recipient
Can I tell you why?
because that person was high enough up.
Because the Vatican police
they
were
knew.
supposed to be part of the whole thing. The Vatican, yeah, exactly. The Vatican police are like clubbing it up with the popes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Vatican police, it's like saying, the mafia's own security. I mean, they're employed by the Vatican. It's its own country. So they'll just do whatever they're told to do.
Clearly, it's not a democracy.
Right.
There's no transparency.
No, there's
or
nothing.
oversight
Right.
for anything. So there's 800 people.
Right, exactly. So it's
live
like
there.
so it is. It's like Germany going to the mafia and being like, "Hey, get your security guards involved in this. I think there's some illicit activity going on in the mafia." And they're like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll send our best men over." Our German police keep showing up dead. I don't understand it. Every time they investigate the Vatican, working with the Vatican police, someone shows up dead.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, well, there you go. Fun images of completely whacked out Vatican residents. It's the nuns. You know who it is? It's the nuns. They're the ones that are getting high.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
It gives a new meaning to the flying nun.
or in the habit.
Oh, dumb. We're dumb.
We're making bad jokes now. It's probably time to move on. Well, at least we're giddy about them. Anyway, all right. Well, from the Vatican, one center of major world religion, to another, I'm going to go to Israel.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this about Israel, but one of the rules of Israel, they have what's called the law of return, which they set up so that Jews from all over the world can sort of have a refuge to run to if they're being persecuted or whatever.
Right. Okay. I was partially aware of that, I think.
And basically, the only real criterion is that you have to have at least one grandparent who was Jewish.
Oh.
And then you can enact the law of return and go to Israel.
Okay.
So a lot of former residents of the Soviet Union jumped on that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
To get out of the Soviet Union and have a more democratic place to live.
Right. Okay.
And probably food. That's probably a nice thing too. I don't know. All I remember about the Soviet Union era was hearing about bread lines and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho, some of these people, I've got here the story of Alin Levy. She's a 24-year-old Israeli woman. I mean, she immigrated to Israel from Ukraine with her Jewish father and Christian mother. Now, Judaism technically is passed from the mother to the child, is my understanding. And she was sort of being raised Christian. She wants to convert to Judaism.
Okay.
And in Israel, there is someone there's the chief rabbinate, rabbinate,
okay,
who oversees and has sole authority to determine who is and who ain't Jewish.
Oh yeah,
it's like Duck Jew. Goes through and selects who's Jewish and who's not. No, you're not okay with Duck Jew?
Well, that's a tough one for me.
Duck Jew. No, it's not. I thought it was funny. I enjoy that imagery myself. Chief rabbinate walking down a line of people determining who's Jewish. Anyway, we'll move on.
It's funny. I'm just not going to go there with
That's fine. We'll move on. Anyway, this chief rabbinate has denied Miss Levy her petition to be Jewish.
Why? Wait.
And this one feels personal to me because he told her that an acting career does not go together with the spirit of religion.
What?
She's an actress.
That's why she's not Jewish?
She doesn't get to be Jewish because she's an actress.
Wait. That...
Right.
I'm confused.
Exactly.
I thought there were...
you thought there were plenty of Jewish actors and actresses out there?
At all levels of the entertainment industry.
Maybe here. Here's the thing: the chief rabbinate is an Orthodox Jew, and apparently, when you're in Orthodoxy, they don't want they don't approve.
I wonder what else they disapprove of.
I know. I'll tell you what I disapprove of: calling this woman an actress when she really rose to stardom on the Israeli version of Big Brother. That's not even acting.
She's not an actress.
That's I resent as an actor. I take umbrage at reality stars being called actors.
Okay, so
But I mean, she wants to make a living.
If he'd used the grounds of her having been on reality television,
right,
to mean that, like, if that was how he was going to exclude her,
maybe
I'd be okay with that.
But no, I mean, just a very interesting.
But he has a very narrow definition of what being Jewish is.
Well, I think that's the job of the Jewish rabbinate, is to have a narrow view of what it is to be Jewish. I think that's kind of his gig.
I've just known people in my life who were Jewish who I don't think he would,
Right.
but who have clear claims.
Right. I mean, if you're born to it, unfortunately, I mean, I think it's, I'm guessing he really laments the fact that there are people who get to claim it just because they were born into it. I'm guessing he just sits at home stewing over all of the people.
How can I fix this situation? Can we kick them out?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Is that possible?
That Seth Rogen is still calling himself a Jew? With that laugh? Never! Anyway,
It's just obnoxious.
it is interesting. If you look at the history of theater, for whatever reason, and I find this baffling, acting has always been, like for centuries, on and off, sinful.
You've known actors too long, Dan. Anybody who's sort of an outsider to act, you see a group of actors come into a restaurant,
You know they're sinful?
it's beyond sinful. That's not even your concern. You would, if you were a religious person, you would conjure up something sinful about them. It's just they're distasteful as a group. They're obnoxious. They're loud. They laugh uncontrollably.
They do laugh.
A lot.
They have
There's
so much fun.
so much laughter. And so if you're kind of a little uptight,
Yeah.
that's going to bug you.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, all through the Middle Ages, people had there was this weird thing where the only plays that were done were religious morality plays,
As it should be. Yeah.
and yet the actors doing it were sometimes just, chased down with pitchforks and torches, because every now and then somebody just got to be in their bonnet about actors.
Yeah.
Even
Like
if
I
they
said,
were
I
doing
understand.
just religious
I
things.
understand.
I know you do. Yeah, it's because after their show they went and they were a little too loud at the pub.
Yeah. It's totally, like I said, it's obnoxious. So,
There you go.
not to diss on your chosen profession, Dan. Like,
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you're doing.
no.
And
it's
it's-
not the profession. It's
It's the participants.
The participants in the profession.
You
that I
do
object
realize
to.
that you like directing films, right? You do realize that, like, you're dissing the very people on whom your career hinges.
Listen, I know I need their services. I'm willing to put up with. And I love actors.
I know.
How many actor friends do I have?
Everyone loves actors when you really get down to it. Not all
I
actors.
don't know. That's
Not all
entirely
actors.
true.
I'm fun. That's all there is to it.
You're okay.
All right.
I would choose others.
Ouch. Damn. He's just getting
No, you're-
mean now.
Whatever.
All right, let's move
It's
on.
fun, man. We're having fun.
Oh, we have fun.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, this is a story we need to tread lightly, because this story it involves a word that I find funny.
Oh, shit.
But it's not a funny story. And
Okay.
so there's a problem in that I will be possibly laughing or giggling. It's the sound of the word.
Well, there's story. We make funny jokes about not funny things
Yeah.
all the time.
So,
Humor's the way you deal with uncomfortable things sometimes.
and this one's uncomfortable.
I'm scared.
Yeah, this is so BYU, or Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah.
Bastion of Mormon beauty.
It's owned by BYU. Obviously, is owned by the LDS Church.
Right.
The Mormon Church owns it,
Strangely,
and they run
it's
very strictly.
And it's
Right.
it's oddly accredited, which it may or may not should be.
And it kind of happens and gets
Yeah.
threatened,
Right.
and then they get back in line.
They find their way
Now,
around.
there are certain parts of it that they clearly never have any problem with, like the business side of things.
Sure.
Or even like the law school never has any problems, right? We might
Probably
guess.
not.
It's probably more when you're dipping into the more liberal arts side of things.
Well,
but
anyway.
but nonetheless, that's not why we're bringing up Brigham Young University.
No.
The reason we're bringing up Brigham Young University is because they've had an outbreak of gropings on campus.
Okay.
So
I thought that was going to be worse.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
admit, I thought it was going to be worse.
Yeah.
But gropings is bad.
Groping is a bad word. Not a bad word. Groping isn't a terribly funny word. Groper is a funny word. And they keep talking about, the article right here is talking about the infamous BYU groper. And that, I'm sorry, you're not listening to what you're typing when you're typing that line right there.
Well, what are you
because
gonna
that
call
line
it?
is funny to me.
Well,
The infamous BYU groper.
First of all,
It's not funny that he's out groping, but the words are just killing me here. But anyways, so what's happened is there have been about 15 victims of this groper who he's out. They actually have some security camera footage of him that they've blown up, and of course, enhancement doesn't really exist, so it's all
zoom in and enhance.
It's all super blurry, but he's in tight running pants type things, with a little headband and a gray sweatshirt and running shoes. So he's out there. He looks like he's just one of these people running on campus.
Sure.
And he basically just walks by women who might also be out jogging and grabs their breasts and then just keeps going.
Okay.
Totally, it's the weirdest thing.
God.
Because the problem here is it's sexual in nature, right?
Yeah.
And so you can't really make light of it because
It's assault.
Because it's assault, absolutely, and it's not acceptable, right?
No,
Behavior at
obviously
all.
not.
But he's a serial groper. Right.
The thing about
and
this,
the BYU has a problem with a serial groper
Right.
on campus right now.
whom they haven't been able to catch,
Who
that's
they
bizarre.
cannot catch. He groped somebody right outside of the campus police office. This
Our
guy
groper's getting more bold.
he is.
He's getting bolder.
Well, he's gonna make a mistake sooner or later.
One of these days, you'll make a mistake, groper, and then your ass is mine.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry,
anyways.
and then your butt is mine because it's BYU. They don't say ass. The thing about this is that obviously he's committing a crime, which by the way, groping is bad enough as it is, but magnified by the horror that a BYU girl would feel.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, because this is a girl, you have to understand, who has been taught her whole life that if she engages in any sexuality whatsoever, she's a used piece of gum.
Yeah.
She's an apple with a piece bitten out of it. And
Yeah.
do you want to offer your husband, your future husband, a used piece of gum?
Right.
And I'm guessing that would come into play even with just a groping, that she was not involved in.
No woman anywhere is looking to be groped.
No.
Right.
Well,
I don't care. I don't
not
care.
unwillingly. There are plenty of women that are looking to be groped, but not against their will.
Okay. Right. That's what I meant. I meant the crime of groping.
Right.
Okay. But anyways, I don't care where a woman might be out jogging. A guy jumps out and grabs her breasts. It's going to feel like an assault.
It is an assault. So yes, it's gonna be a huge violation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's unwanted and it is a violation of her body. So I get what you're saying about the BYU campus and it being sort of a heightened thing. But the next thing I'm sure any woman's going to think after having her breast squeezed unwantedly is what's this guy's next move?
Right.
It's has to be a horrifying thing. But anyways,
it's never okay to assault anyone, period.
In the internet age,
yeah,
we have things such as Twitter. Yeah, and this is segueing to something.
Oh dear.
There has been a bunch of people making fun of the whole groping thing on Twitter.
Really?
A fake a fake account. A Twitter account has been opened with the name at BYU Groper.
Oh my God!
And he says in one of his tweets, hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husband, because I'm groping buddy out there.
Right, which is a play on that delightful internet video.
Yeah. So he did that.
He's so clever.
He's super clever. There's one that calls itself BYU HC office, which would be the honor code office. And this, I was sucked into this one. I started reading it thinking, oh, BYU actually has a statement about this, like a warning to any of the Twitter followers that they might have. No, it's also a fake account. Apparently, this is what the tweet says. Apparently, serial groper is attacking women with C's or better. This is why we warned you not to tell anyone about your grades. Pound BYU.
Oh my God.
Or hashtag BYU.
I was going to say.
This is the not getting Twitter thing.
Right.
Oh
my God.
Let's see. And then there are plenty of people who are calling them out, of course.
Right. But you know what this is? Here's where I'm going to go with this. This is the fact that BYU students and people within that culture frequently insulate themselves from actually talking about serious issues for so long that they become utterly tone deaf to anything. So they don't know what's funny and what's completely inappropriate.
Yeah, it's North Korea down there.
It's the same. It is North Korea. It really is North Korea. It's the same. This is the same problem that gave rise to. Do you remember the Black History Month story we did a couple years ago?
Yeah,
where they had like images of Count Chocula popping up, and I mean, they don't intend to be racist,
right,
and they don't intend to be making fun of sexual assault. They think they're just being funny.
Yeah. Well, it's a very, very sheltered place. Where people never have to encounter the realities of life. And even, I mean, when I was a student down at BYU, there was this, I lived south of campus, a ton of off-campus housing.
Sure.
Is just south of campus. And there was this drop-off from, the campus kind of sits up on a little bit of a bluff. And you walk, there were stairs that went down the bluff and then into this neighborhood. And I can't remember what it's called for that part of campus to save my life. But it was all wooded and there was just scrub oak all over the place. And there were pathways that went through it. And if I remember right, there were even like little spots with like little park benches. And it was supposed to be like this really cool like park setting. And it actually was. Right. But it was a great place to walk through. But it was also like rape central.
Yeah, that'll pose some danger.
And so they had to redesign the whole thing and everything. But like I remember there being so many articles in the school newspaper about like rapes happening.
Yeah.
And this unfortunately is something that happens on, university campuses everywhere.
Right, exactly.
But the point is escaping me.
Well, here's the other problem with BYU is that these are all people who have not only religiously agreed to do this, but have signed a piece of paper, the honor code that you mentioned before, which says that they will not have extramarital sex.
Absolutely, yeah.
You are dealing with the most sexually frustrated campus in the country.
Yeah.
It's going to lead to some crazy behavior.
Yeah.
You stifle up that many people, somebody's going to act out in a bad way. Someone's not going to have the present. These
campus that has floating as one of its number one sexual acts,
which is just, let me just stick it in and leave it. I won't move it.
Right.
I just want to put it in, and then I'm just going to leave it there. This is also a campus rife with anal sex because it doesn't count.
And they talk about things like NICMO.
NICMO. Oh, my God.
Non-committal makeout for the uninitiated.
They have an abbreviation for non-committal makeout sessions. In the rest of the world, that's just called making out. It's just called college in the rest of the world. But they've got a code word,
an
acronym.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, these are people who aren't even allowed to masturbate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you think you're going to get away with them not, like, groping?
Yeah.
You're causing groping.
There's some gropage.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So, anyways, that's what's happening down at BYU at the moment.
But if you go to BYU, you'll see a lot of smiling faces.
Lots of smiling faces.
Aww.
And they do take their sexual frustrations out at the gym and on runs.
That's true.
And so it is actually an incredibly fit group of people.
Yeah. Well, except for the sad.
Well, there's sad sacks everywhere.
The
Dan.
sad sacks, yeah. Well, I'm just saying there are multiple ways of handling it. You can also drown those frustrations in food and in the BYU dairy.
The Cougar Eat. You go to the Cougar Eat and get some caffeine-free Diet Coke.
Right. Get some of that
to drown your sorrows.
Get some of that fresh ice cream from the creamery.
Oh,
the BYU creamery. There you go. Anywho, okay, so now around the world to where I was recently. In India.
India?
In India. Do you know? I was in India. I conquered it. Anyway, there's a book that was recently released by Penguin Press called The Hindus, An Alternative History.
Uh-oh.
So, apparently it has some controversial points in it. The article that I found didn't actually elucidate what those controversial points were, but here's what it did elucidate for me. Penguin is pulling the book and pulping all of the copies that they had already released in India.
Really? Okay.
Here's the dealio. In India, it is against the law to say anything or write anything that is either meant to hurt religious feelings or that could cause religious uproar.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
So...
their poor religious feelings. Were their poor religious feelings hurt?
Well, somebody was claiming that it was a small group called...
Well, what was this book saying about the Hindus?
Again, I don't have that. I couldn't find it.
Nobody knows.
I kind of want to read it, though. Frankly, now that I know more about Hindus and have met as many Hindus as I have met on this trip, I'd be interested in it.
Okay.
Anywho, there's this small group in India that's called Shiksha Bachao Andolan.
Yeah.
And they've been threatening to sue under this law. And so Penguin pulled the book. Now here's what's here's what the problem is, that it's causing uproar because basically everyone with any intellectual integrity is saying you can't just ban a book because it disagrees with your idea of the history.
Oh, that'd be a wonderful position to be in. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so editorials in the United States and India and all over have been criticizing the press's decision to kill the book, and also have been criticizing the group that was threatening to press charges.
Okay.
A petition's been circulating demanding the release, the reform of the laws now.
Yeah, that's a pretty shitty law.
Well, it's interesting because, we're talking about a country where Muslims just a year or two ago bombed
I guess it is hard to just come down in judgment of something where you take it out of the context of the place, right? Like clearly, yeah.
No, but here's the thing.
But it seems like there could be a better way to arrive at that.
You do what we do. You make bombing illegal.
Well, it's probably illegal.
It's illegal, but what I'm saying is that
it's not that easy.
It's sort of a blame the victim mentality. You know what I mean? If you can't say what you want to say, I mean, what they need to be doing is encouraging a society that can talk to each other in respectful ways, and that can take it if somebody goes off the deep end.
Right.
But when I was in India, I spoke to lots of people about religion and about their religious stuff, and I'm now realizing that I could have been in danger of falling afoul of this law that I was not aware of. If I wasn't careful, which I always was. It's not like I was disrespectful or anything. But, an atheist can be accused of being...
You weren't chasing down cows, were you?
No, I was like, yes, with a knife and fork in hand.
Yummy!
Like, get in my belly! Get over here, cow! Come on, you!
That you would have been harassing the cow. I'm sure that's not allowed.
That is also against the law.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Cow harassment.
Cow...
But all of the people that I spoke to had this very strong sense that I kept hearing the phrase, India is a secular country. They insisted on it. No, India is a secular country. We have very pluralistic views.
Huh.
And
maybe on a whole, they do.
Politically, they sort of do. You can see problems with that, with things like the High Court, the Supreme Court overturning the gay ban.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Recriminalizing homosexuality.
Yeah.
But I think it is moving forward. It's progressing as fast as a country like India can be expected to progress with its history. It's a lot of people
to pull along,
and it's
know what I mean,
right?
To get on board with,
right. And you've got entire states. Kerala is a state in the south that's largely Christian, and you've got entire states that are largely Muslim, and you've got most of the country is Hindu, and
that would be. Yeah,
there's a lot of different religions there. So I don't know. But Hinduism is of course the largest religion there. That's the most visible religion there. It's the one that most people would claim
think of as well. When you think of India, that's what you think of.
Right.
That's what I think of.
But it is.
I don't think of the Christian Kerala state.
Right. No. No. So I don't know. It's very interesting to. I just don't think of India as the kind of country that clamps down like this, or the kind of country that a big publishing company with a big legal team would back down from so easily. I don't get it.
They must have known that they were just entering into a legal quagmire
that they
just didn't want to deal with. They probably ran the numbers. It was probably cheaper to do what they did than to just get behind the book and fight.
It's just shocking to me, though. Most publishers want to stand behind their.
I'm sure. But...
Plus, they got to make money off of the controversy. If they could keep their books on the shelves for a while, and then just play up the controversy in the press, more and more people would buy it.
Well. I have
just to see,
clue. I have no clue.
If only to see like what they disagree with. This is terrible. You can't publish this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only with the head shake that the Indians do. Have you ever seen that? How Indians have? It's very interesting. They have this little bobble to their head. You haven't seen that?
I might have.
Okay.
I'm sure I probably have.
It's disconcerting because a shake that's just, if they just wiggle the top, sort of the top of their head goes back and forth on their neck, that's actually yes. But it looks like no. So you get this whole, you ask them a question and what the words that come out of their mouths doesn't match what their head's doing to our eyes. And it's just like, did I do something wrong?
It's like looking at the word green written in red.
Right. Yeah.
And you have to say it.
Yeah. Your brain short circuits just a little bit. You got to sort of work your way around it. Yeah. Anyway, that's what's happening in India.
All right.
What else is happening in the world?
Well, I have the Billy Graham's daughter, whose name is Anne Graham Lotz.
Okay.
Apparently, she's a religious woman who likes stuff that her dad said, I guess. But anyways, she recently drew some attention for a blog entry that she made on her blog, which is and grahamlotz.com.
Oh, okay.
That has the headline, "Where Have All the People Gone?"
Oh,
And she's talking about the missing Malaysian airplane, right?
Oh,
that
yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
still
yeah.
looking for.
yeah.
And she compares this sense of confusion and mystery to the rapture, and how
Oh, good
and
God.
how the people of the world will feel. I mean, obviously multiplied by, who knows, hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people. Right,
to be raptured.
Who would be raptured? There would be millions of people raptured, supposedly, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, she's saying, this 286 or whatever the number is of people missing. Is it 286? I'm just pulling that number out of my head.
Anyway,
239.
239.
239 people missing from the Malaysian flight. She's like, imagine the next day after the rapture.
Oh, God.
Imagine how much more people will be an unprecedented mystery. Where have all the people gone?
Where
she
have
says.
they gone? Oh.
And so she starts
The
off.
mystery.
Actually, I don't think I'd ever read the verse that this whole rapture thing is based on.
Oh.
It's in 1 Thessalonians, chapter 4, 16 through 17.
Okay. Do you want to read
Do you
it
wanna
for
hear
us?
it?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
okay. For the Lord himself will come down from heaven with a loud command, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet call of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. After that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air.
Oh.
And so we will be with the Lord forever
Oh.
in the air.
Okay,
right?
so I'm relieved by that, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
I was worried that the rapture could happen and we wouldn't notice. That only 90 or 120 people would make the cut, and
Yeah.
they would just disappear, and there'd be a few missing persons, APBs put out around the world, and the rest of us would just be merrily wandering around, not knowing that it happened.
No, graves are going to open.
Yeah, there's going to be people floating up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and we'll hear a trumpet. There's going to be a trumpet.
Yeah.
Voice
Absolutely.
of the archangel. That
Yeah.
all sounds really. I'm comforted by that.
Yeah.
We will definitely know.
Yeah.
What do you think the trumpet call of God sounds like? Yeah, you think it's that prosaic?
Yeah.
I kind of want it to be like many, many trumpets doing a really cool, rousing sort of thing,
Well,
like the military brass band
Okay.
sort of thing.
Okay, it all goes back to whether or not God is gay. Okay.
Right. That's true.
If God is gay, it will be fabulous.
Suddenly the
That was really bad.
the beat of God starts, but God drops the bass first.
Oh, yeah.
And then the trumpet.
Right?
What if the trumpet of God is dubstep?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be good. Skrillex playing the trumpet of God.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start a band called the Trumpet of God. And
I'm
then
sure it exists already.
every time I play, people will be like, "Oh, I wonder if the rapture's happening."
But anyways, she wonders in this blog entry, when the world searches for clues, how easily will they find the answer in what I leave behind? Okay. And she says, instead of an oil slick, will there be traces of his grace and glory and truth?
Oh my Lord. Oh God, that's distasteful in a way that like kind of stings. Oh God.
Yeah, it's a little tone deaf. The whole thing's tone deaf.
Right.
Like to immediately go to the rapture. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
Yeah.
like seriously. But then to be like talking about like, well, we might find an oil slick
Right.
for all those 239 dead. That will show us where the 239, dead people
But
are,
what
are
clues will
interred
I
under the
leave?
water.
Here's what I love. I've heard this sentiment before. This concept of like, whenever, when I go to the rapture, what will I leave behind? So
Isn't that a song?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, it's by Archangel and the and the trumpet of God. Anyway, which is what I've decided the band is called. All of the bands are called Archangel and the Trumpet of God. But the idea that, like, the whole notion, because this idea of what I leave behind seems to hinge on the idea that somehow the rest of us haven't heard the good word.
Yeah.
We are not aware that there's this Bible floating around that has all of this God stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, we know the story.
Yeah. You
It's
guys
fine.
haven't shut up about this thing.
Yeah, you
for
guys,
quite some time now.
you've been a little bit outspoken about it. So I don't think there will be much mystery. If your big event happens, if God turns on his magic Hoover and starts sucking you guys up, I think we'll get it. I don't think that it will escape us what's going on. We're fine.
Yeah. Yeah. No worries.
Oh my God. Well, there you go. If you're interested in being raptured, you can tell us all about it.
Yeah.
You can write to us, podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you can leave us a voicemail at 424-666-8442.
Right. Or you can go onto the Facebook page and interact there. That's facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
All right, we're going to take a patty break.
Yay, Patty!
And as is typical with Patty,
With Brother Robertson.
we don't really need to say anything more.
No.
It's Pat.
This is Sandra, who says, I work with an atheist, and at one time I thought I could witness to her and bring her to Jesus. She gets openly hostile at the mere mention of God. She gets very angry just hearing the word God. Should I just abandon the idea of being a positive influence on her and just let her perish?
I don't know if you're dealing with something that is demonic or something that's deeply ingrained, but I mean, to be that openly hostile to the word God, there's something beyond normal human experience. Yeah, something has happened, and she associates God. Maybe she had an abusive father, somebody who raped her and then acted like he was, preaching to her from the Bible. You just never know what's going on in somebody's childhood. All you can do is be understanding and be loving, and don't try to push anything on her. Pray for her, but if she won't hear, she won't hear. I mean, you've done what you can do, but always in love, speaking the truth in love. If you try to start an engine without oil, the engine will get friction and it'll tear itself up. If there's oil, the gears will begin to flow. There needs to be an anointing oil before you start talking to people about the Lord, and just pray for that anointing.
Okay.
Some poor woman in some office somewhere is going to get doused with, like, oil. It's going to be like, God damn it, Susan, why did you pour oil on me? It's the anointing oil of Jesus.
But I mean, the issue here is how can he just go immediately to this atheist must have a demon,
right?
Because, like, is there no sense of, like, well, Wilma or whoever it was who was writing in, anyways,
Who cares?
Sandra,
right?
Well, Sandra, maybe the workplace is not the best place for you to be, preaching. Like, if you guys are friends, like, if you're friends, do this outside of work.
Right.
Meet up for, some coffee and witness to her.
Yeah.
But my guess is Sandy's little workplace friend doesn't like Sandy at all. And Sandy's sitting there preaching, and she's just like, please, can I just do my work?
Right. Here's how I imagine this. I imagine, like, the 6th or 7th encounter where Sandra has, like, said something about God. You're now Sandra. You're going to approach me. This is like you don't think you've really mentioned God much at all.
Right.
And you approach me and you say, just say something like, isn't it lovely what the Lord has made, or something like that.
Isn't it lovely, Dan, what the Lord has made?
Oh, God. God again? Really? You're going to bring God up one more time. And suddenly, Sandra goes, even though the word God makes her furious. She must have a demon. Even just the word freaks her out.
Because the demons hate the word God.
Right.
They do, Dan.
It's not like the peskiness of one Sandra is like too much for everybody. It's not. It couldn't be that. It must be that she's reacting against the word God.
Yeah. This again is probably that's a pretty good reaction.
I mean, honestly, you and I are atheists.
Mm-hmm.
We know a lot of atheists. Mm-hmm. Not one of us gives a shit about the word God.
No,
the word God is totally harmless.
Yeah.
It's just the people. The people who say it that are a problem.
I say the word God just as much as any believer does.
That's true. That's probably true.
I mean, guaranteed. Maybe even more.
Yep.
You don't see me withering away in the corner.
No.
But all demon possessed.
But if somebody at work keeps bringing God up to you, eventually you might be like, okay, we need to stop talking about God.
I go the other way, which is I ask questions because I find it entertaining. As long as they're not Mormon, I find it entertaining.
Sure.
A Mormon would give me the willies, but anybody else, whatever weirdo shit they believe,
yeah.
It doesn't bug me.
No.
In fact,
But I mean, if it's getting in the way
it.
of your work, or people witnessing to me, people trying to convert me, that bothers me. That frustrates me.
Yeah, that would bug me.
So yes, I would my response would probably be to ask questions too, but the kind of questions that would make them so uncomfortable they'd never ask me about it again.
Well, then you have a really wicked demon in you.
I do. I've got a
you
demon.
You really do, Dan.
I've got a. You know what? I came back from India and nothing's been right in my digestion since. So I think it's a demon. I think that's the demon.
That's the clear demon. Do you really have intestinal problems? No.
I did for a couple weeks. I went to the doctor. He prescribed yogurt.
Oh.
Apparently it can just, you go to a foreign land for a while, and if it's that different, it'll mess up your gut.
It's a little Activia.
Yeah, a little Jamie Lee Curtis poop yogurt never hurt nobody. Everybody loves some Jamie Lee Curtis, some JLC poop yogurt.
Yeah, if that's anyways.
Oh, Jamie.
So you're all fixed up.
I'm doing just fine, thank you very much.
Okay.
But so maybe the demon's been exorcised. I have exorcised the demon.
It's afraid of yogurt.
It's afraid of yogurt.
No more yogurt.
I did anoint and bless the yogurt as I ate it. And I said, demon be gone. Yo play. Anyway, we've had some people write into us.
What?
Yes, it does happen from time to time. So
I am shocked.
Do you remember that last week we spoke about former head of Westboro Baptist Church, Fred Phelps, passing away?
He did. He died.
And Sam wrote in to disagree with us, because one of the points that we made was that we thought that on the balance, Mr. Phelps probably could have helped the gay, or possibly helped the gay movement more than he hurt it.
Yeah. I think if you make being anti-gay look crazy,
right,
fewer people want to be a part of your thing.
Right.
That's just me.
It's easier to associate other people who are against homosexuality
as being
with crazy.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Sam disagrees. Sam says the WBC allows the anti-gay movement to look reasonable by contrast. If a person were to say homosexuality is an abomination, they are not seen as extremists. The further one group takes it, the more room the others have to operate. It's an interesting point.
Right.
I mean, so the idea being that, like, he's so far out there that if you're saying, that if you're chilling and just saying, oh, I don't agree with homosexuality, everybody else says, well, at least he's not saying God hates fags, so...
Yeah. I mean, I can see the point.
Sure.
Who can say?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have data on this, so it's not like we can...
It is all just speculation about
right.
human nature and what...
But I mean...
communities' reactions and all that kind of stuff. But I can see the point.
Sure. I think the most important point is that we do have data on where our society is going.
Right.
And it's going in the right direction.
Yeah, it's going opposite of him. So
whether he had an impact on that one way or the other or not, that's where it's going. So that's nice.
Yep. Okay.
Thanks for writing in, Sam.
Should we do the voicemail?
Sure.
Yes,
that's right. Let's do the voicemail.
Okay. Again, continuing on with this whole Fred Phelps thing, we had more chiming in, and this has to do more with, we saw I saw a lot of this, and I think we talked about it in the show last week as well, of people saying we shouldn't even talk about him, right?
Yep.
And so we had a caller chime in on that note as well.
Hey, Frank and Dan. It's Adam from Las Vegas. Just wanted to talk about Fred Phelps, and in particular, how you were saying some people believe that not saying anything is the right course of action. And I noticed all my friends on Facebook were kind of taking that point of view. And I just wanted to point out that Fred Phelps really utilized his freedom of speech to spread a lot of very hateful and, despicable ideas out there. And to just, out of some sort of respect, or rather not wanting to fan the flames of what he stood for, staying silent, is choosing to not express your beliefs in the same way he did. And there are far more people out there that are good, decent people that deplore what he stood for. And I think that being vocal about that is not only the right thing to do, but probably what you should be doing. Make sure that the world understands that we didn't like Fred Phelps. We didn't want a Fred Phelps. As a whole, we really disliked Fred Phelps. And the world's a better place without him. And so, utilize your freedom to express yourself. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.
An important point.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's there is a lot of validity to the idea that we as a society need to make it clear whom we reject and whom we embrace.
There are people who did far more true evil in the world. Like Fred Phelps was an annoying, obnoxious, evil asshole character. But he was not, on the higher echelons of true evil.
Right.
A la Pol Pot.
Yeah, he wasn't killing people.
Adolf Hitler, right? Like, we talk about the bad that happened, that has happened in this world.
Yeah.
And the people who are not the kinds of people that we want to have living in this world.
Right.
We need to be talking about those things. We need to know who those people are.
Right.
So that more don't happen.
Right. And societal norms need to be propagated.
Yeah.
And it needs to be clear when ours. I don't know. I think he's so worthy of talking about.
And I do not think that staying silent is anywhere near the right reaction.
No.
It allows him to, for people who may was the thing about Fred Phelps is who really approved what he was doing.
Right.
I was about to say it would allow his supporters to have the microphone for a minute, but
all 15 of them.
Yeah, but it allows for people who may, without taking on his name and taking up his mantle, but people who would express similar sentiment to get away with what they're saying.
Yeah,
in my mind. So
yeah, I think there's something very good about speaking up when you hear bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was good at bullshit, so the rest of the world was pretty darn good at speaking up against him.
Yeah.
So there you go. We had another email. This one's from Tom. Tom says, "Good morning, Frank and Dan. I was checking on the new content added on Snopes today and was upset about this particular story, which unfortunately turns out to be true. It was about a 40-year-old girl who writes a letter to God about her dog that died. The mother places the letter in the mailbox, and a few days later they receive a package with a letter. The letter signed, 'Love God and the special angel who wrote this after God told her the words.'"
Ew.
Which is a reference to the little girl's letter, because the little girl's letter said, "Love," whatever the little girl's name is, and mommy, who she told the words to, or whatever. So Tom says, "I think you guys have talked about times in which an individual will have an experience that will reinforce their beliefs. This event, unfortunately, will be one in which this young girl will always remember and point to and say, "This is why I believe." Clearly, someone from the post office put this together to help the little girl. How do you guys feel about this? Do you think this is an innocuous? Do you think this is innocuous and innocent, or do you feel like it was wrong for the person to put this together? This seems to fall in line with things like Santa and the Tooth Fairy, in which adults set up things to reinforce a child's false beliefs.
Okay. First of all, my first reaction is clearly wrong. Second of all, anytime anybody builds up faith for somebody else on a house of cards, awesome.
Yeah, exactly. That was my response, is that no, I don't think that this is... Because as with things like Santa Claus, eventually you have to look back and go, oh, that guy in the mall was just a guy.
Yeah.
That wasn't really Santa.
Yeah.
So this girl eventually will look back at this and go, she might say, that was sweet.
Yeah.
And this might, this will clearly become part of family lore for generations. But she's not going to look back and go, proof of God.
Right.
Because she knows that someone at the post office sent a book.
Crazy person.
And it was sweet.
Some crazy federal employee.
The package apparently came with the book When a Pet Dies by Mr. Rogers, which sounds cute to me. I haven't read the book.
I haven't either.
But I mean, but
Fred Rogers was a religious man, so who knows what it says.
He was a pastor.
Right.
But I mean, he was also very attuned to just the psychological state of a child. So I'm sure that it's a lovely book.
Yeah.
And so there you go. I mean, I think obviously, yes, it's wrong for a federal employee to be supporting whatever. Frankly, this doesn't offend me as much as it probably should. It probably should offend me a lot. But I mean, it's like one person who knows that the other person is a believer supporting that other person's belief because they share that belief.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like, meh. Is it a big deal? Meh. Are they going to make a lot of hay about it on the internet? Yes.
Look how sweet that is.
It's supposed to be all faith promoting, although I don't know.
I don't see where the faith promotion is.
Right.
If it was a letter from God, that would be different.
that would promote a lot of faith. Even if it came via owl messenger like Harry Potter or something, that would be
anything.
Something.
Anything.
But nobody
more than just there was somebody at the post office that an angel whispered a message to.
Right. Or that it was just a nice thing that someone at the post office did.
Yeah.
Someone read the letter addressed to God. I think the
whispered the words to an angel.
No,
it was a little game of telephone between this child and God. There was a lot of intermediaries here.
Yeah, apparently the
Why not
envelope did have a return to sender stamp on it.
What?
Because there's not enough information. Heaven is not a place that the U.S. Postal Service delivers to. But it came with this other package and all this nice stuff. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'll write a letter to God, see what happens. To God in heaven. Just see what happens.
Just to see. Yeah. Okay. Do that, Dan.
I will.
Okay.
So, you and I,
yes,
are gonna go see a movie together at some point.
Yes.
And that movie is
Noah. Darren Aronofsky directed.
Yes.
Noah.
It's a controversial film.
Yes.
In many, many, many ways. And we're just going to chat a little bit it opens this weekend here in the United States. Other parts of the world, you'll have to check your local listings. But it's coming. And we decided we were going to just talk about some of the things that have arisen, some of the things that have happened while in the preceding of this film, because it's been a little fraught.
Oh yeah,
a little fraught.
Well, I mean, I guess as to be expected. I watched the trailer somehow I had avoided the trailer. I don't know how. But I watched the trailer for the first time today.
Right.
And my immediate reaction was, my God, why are not all the Christians out there, like, just, going nuts for this thing?
Just coming in their pants over this.
Yeah. They really should be, because, like, this is Noah. This is Bible with like the best Hollywood production values that money can buy.
Eat your heart out, Cecil B. DeMille.
Yeah. Like crazy superstars.
Yeah. This is as good as it gets.
Top director, right?
Yeah.
Like respected top director. And they're all getting all
they're all butthurt about, like, well, it's not following exactly along the lines of the Bible, blah, 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 blah. Which is funny because, as you and I have pointed out before, the Bible account of Noah, it's like a few pages.
Yeah.
There's not enough in the Bible to make even... you could do it in 5 minutes, and that would cover everything that's in the Bible.
Yeah. Make a decent little short film.
Sure.
No, decent, I don't know about that, but it would make a short film.
It'll be an unsatisfying short film because there's not enough in the Bible to understand anything about what's happening.
The Bible requires a certain amount of
your own imagination.
I was also gonna throw in there like backstory and sort of cultural understand. Like there's a lot that a culture and fills into the stories of the Bible.
Right.
Your expectations of what these stories are supposed to be telling you based on your own sense of like right and wrong.
Yeah.
And so like everybody's filling shit in.
Yeah.
Into this story. And to be fair, like I was kind of surprised recently when and through a lot of this, reaction of how seriously people take the story of Noah. I always thought that it was just clearly a made-up thing.
Right.
There was no way this happened.
No. Yeah.
No way in hell.
Yeah, that's impossible.
But people actually believe it.
Right. Oh, they love it. And see,
I'm blown away by that. I have to say, as somebody who grew up in a religion that
taught it,
I never bought it.
Right.
Because it's just too nuts.
Well, I got news for you. The LDS Church came out with another one of their little essays that they've been coming out with.
About Noah?
And it basically says, sort of kind of corroborates a literal interpretation of it.
It does?
Sort of, kinda.
But they don't want to, do they?
No, of course not.
Because nobody in that faith teaches it as a literal story.
Right. So they
I never thought. I never felt like it was ever taught to me as like something that was beyond childhood when it's like this cute Bible story, right? In adulthood, they don't go spouting that as being biblical fact. And Mormons don't know what to do with the whole 900 some odd years old thing.
Right. Yeah, the whole Noah thing, the tricky part about so the LDS Church, they do this whole like emphasis on the meaning behind the story and the important, all of that stuff. And then there was this little sort of thing. I don't even have it pulled up right now, but there was this little sort of thing that was just like, but God needed to kill all of the people on the planet because they were all wicked. And I'm like, wait, that's the literal thing. You're going there? You're going there?
Huh.
They went there.
Wow.
Anyway,
you can say. I mean, I can see it. I can see there being Mormons who literally believe it because they've never really said either way.
Right.
From my understanding.
Sure.
Which I guess now they are.
Now they're kind of doing it. Noah, for those of you who don't know, it's like anybody doesn't know, the story of Noah is about a guy who was, 900 years old or something crazy. I think he lived to be that old. But when the story of Noah happened, he was not yet. He was only like 600.
Well, he had his kids when he was about 500.
Right. Yeah, it says in Genesis, after Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. I don't know how you would say that. Anyway.
Well, you'll see in the movie. You'll find out in the movie.
I will find out everything I need to know in the movie. Anyway, so this movie that's coming out, first of all, they've made Darren Aronofsky is a big enough. You and I were talking about this because I had found out that the studio had made like 6 different cuts of this thing,
which just seemed weird to me.
Right, because you and I both know enough about sort of Hollywood politics that we know that when you're a big enough director, you get what's called final cut.
Yeah.
On a film, meaning you get to decide which cut of the film is what's released to the public.
Right.
You have the last say.
Right. And so, I mean, basically at that point, the studio cannot meddle.
Right.
And I guess they could, I don't know, maybe not distribute it.
Right. But they're not going to spend
do that.
hundreds of millions of dollars on a film and then not release it.
Right.
So we were baffled by the fact, by the idea that Aronofsky didn't seem to have final cut on this thing.
Yeah.
It was
I was like,
weird.
I don't know how somebody gets to that point in their career and not have been able to negotiate that into their contract.
Right. And then I read an article from The Guardian talking about this whole thing, and it turns out that Aronofsky gave up his final cut on the project in exchange for a reported $160 million,
which I can't even wrap my head around that.
$160 million.
The studio was so concerned.
They were
willing to part with.
It was worth it to them to give up $160 million
so they could meddle.
So that they could meddle in it. Which, by the way, studio execs, not great filmmakers.
No,
in general,
not typically. That's
in
why
general.
Yeah.
That's why they're execs.
Yeah.
That's why they're the money guys.
Yeah.
So, holy crap, that was a lot. They went through all of these different versions. They showed them to test audiences. None of them tested as well as the original, which didn't test very well to begin with, which is why they went through all of this.
Right. Oh, my God.
So they've resettled back on Aronofsky. The worst one, apparently, was its 5th one. Paramount's 5th version. And, quote, least Aronofskian.
Oh, my God.
Which, an 86-minute beatitude that began, I'm quoting here, that began with a montage of religious imagery and ended with a Christian rock song.
Oh, dear God.
Which apparently...
They tried that?
Yeah. Didn't work, not surprisingly.
Well, I guess if you're Darren Aronofsky and that is what they decided on, let's say, you just go, well, I have $160 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you sort of cry about it on your yacht on the way to your private island.
I wonder if he also picked up a clause that he could remove his name from it. Because that's not standard anymore.
No. An Alan Smithy?
Do an Alan Smithy, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm
everybody's
because,
known that that's been his project from the beginning. So
yeah, but at the end of the day, if you don't put your name on it, then at least
people know that you haven't put your name on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Aronofsky is quoted as saying that Noah is the least biblical Bible film ever made. He said, quote, I don't give a fuck about the test scores. My films are outside the scores.
Oh, dear.
10 men in a room trying to come up with their favorite ice cream are going to agree on vanilla. I'm the Rocky Road guy. Which struck me as a little egotistical.
What?
I'm the outsider.
A little?
I'm the outsider here.
Yeah.
I'm too cool for vanilla.
Yeah, I'm Rocky Road.
Yeah, exactly.
Bitches. Yeah, you're going to go with Rocky Road. That's the outside the box.
Right. Anywho, he's
How about like Moose Tracks?
I think you're just participating in the problem now.
Cookies and cream.
Anywho, there are other controversies surrounding this. I mean, there were a whole series of pastors denouncing it as not being Christian-y enough, including, as we reported earlier, Ken Ham saying that it was a trick to get believers to watch a non-biblical version of the thing.
A conspiracy, not just a trick.
Yeah.
Like he was, wow.
Yeah, big trickety.
It's a plot.
Yes, exactly.
It's a plot to lure away. Who knows what these studio execs are up to? You know, like what their motivations really are.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you one thing that they're up to. They actually released a video of Christian pastors extolling the virtues of the film to sort of counteract the negative hype that was going on.
What?
There's it's an 8-minute quote Noah featurette. Quotes from pastors all over.
Huh, okay.
It's amazing that, I mean, the thing is that this thing has caused such a hubbub. And of course, hubbub doesn't ever hurt a box office numbers.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're going to go see it.
We're going to go see it. That's true.
Is it in 3D IMAX? Is it available? Can you sit in the seats that go
rumble?
crazy and rumble?
Yeah, we'd better.
If it's available, that's what I want.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I need the full deal.
The full experience.
Yeah, or else I don't want it. And I need a tub of popcorn.
Yep. We're going to do the whole thing.
Oh, no. I don't want the popcorn. I want, the hot dogs.
Ew. Okay.
And the nachos.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Yours is going to be the stinky seat that nobody wants to sit next to.
I want the big pickle.
You can have all of the things. Sweetheart, you can have anything you want at the concessions.
They have pizzas now, don't they?
Yeah, gross.
What's gross about that?
They're just bad pizzas. And no, what is gross is that the people that come into the theater with a pizza and you're sitting next to them and then you smell pizza for the first 20 minutes of the thing. Yeah. That's annoying.
Yeah. They'll if smell-o-vision ever really comes out, they'll have to ban food, or at least certain kinds of food.
Right. Or there will be
non-scent versions of the food.
There will be asshole directors who will try and make people throw up their food. Anyway, one of the interesting things about the Noah film is that there are it's being banned in entire countries.
How does that happen?
Well, here's the dealio. We're talking about Let me give you a few of the countries.
Those are countries that have highly influential film critics.
Right, exactly. Ebertistan.
Which is the rival country of
Ciscalania.
They just lob bombs back and forth. I give this movie 2 bombs down.
Oh, God. I like that we're talking about 2 dead critics.
Well, they were the most famous
film
critics.
critics in the U.S., that's true. Censorship boards in Qatar, Bahrain, and the UAE, United Arab Emirates, have confirmed that they will not release the film. And Jordan, Kuwait, and Egypt are expected to follow suit. So, obviously, these are Islamic countries.
So, wait a second.
Why would Islamic countries ban this movie?
Well, okay. They must be something about the depiction of Noah and something that he does?
It's not what he does. Here's the dealio. Islam believes that Noah is one of the important prophets of Islam.
They do that weird thing where they share a lot of the same stuff. That's right.
In Islam, you're not allowed to show an image of a prophet, which is why all of those cartoons of Muhammad are so controversial.
Yeah, but I knew that about Muhammad. I thought that was just limited to Muhammad.
So did I. Turns out
any of not all prophets. Surely not all. Must just be they must have a little list.
Maybe.
And that's not fair, right? You'd be hard pressed for a Hollywood film, studio,
right?
They're not going to do a film about Muhammad and have an actor in it playing Muhammad. They know better,
right?
Right?
Yeah.
But I mean, come on, guys. These rules. It feels like these rules keep shifting.
Well, I mean, and I think that part of this. So one thing that I read said that was the reason. Another thing that I read, actually, to be fair, said that it shows this revered prophet in a dark light, and in that respect that's what the problem is, and the movie offends Islamic teaching and quote feelings of the faithful.
Again with this feelings.
Again with the feelings. Fuck your feelings.
Yeah, we don't care about your feelings.
I mean,
Sony Pictures has spent a lot of money on this thing. Paramount has spent a lot of money on this thing.
So fuck your feelings.
Yeah.
That's money at stake. There is money involved, people. Your feelings don't come into play. Vote with your wallet. Don't go.
Well, look, those countries are.
Right. There's the entire countries voting with their wallet.
Yeah.
I'll bet you anything there are people from those countries who invested in it. You know there are. A lot of Hollywood money comes out of the Middle East right now.
You're right.
So there you
That
go.
would be funny to find out.
There's people on the inside backdooring, like doing backdoor lobbying to get the movie into the country. Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You should probably allow it. Let the people think for themselves. It will be okay.
Yeah. Well, are you kind of done with your stuff?
Yeah, sure.
I don't really have much, to be honest.
Okay.
More the direction that I went with the whole thing was I kind of wanted to see what some critics were saying leading up to the movie.
Sure.
You know, a lot of people have a little sneak peek.
Yeah, most of the critics haven't released their
reviews
yet.
And so all I have on Metacritic.com, that's the one I like, is there's a review from The Hollywood Reporter, there's one from Variety, and one from IndieWire. Excuse me. Hollywood Reporter and Variety both were positive reviews, and IndieWire was a little mixed. They had some problems with it. They say that it's one of the problems that they point out is that it's constantly tethered to a dull, melodramatic series of events out of whack with any traditional interpretation of the material. Which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Or not interesting, weird place to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, his headline on that one says Darren Aronofsky's Noah is a biblical mess.
Ooh.
But that's what makes it worth talking about.
Oh.
I read through the most positive, which was from The Hollywood Reporter, and had a nice synopsis of the film. And there's some interesting things. Aronofsky, some of the liberties that he took were the creation of this sort of villain character, who's a descendant of Cain. Right?
Sure.
And who ends up being also a stowaway at one point on the actual ark.
Spoiler alert.
But, so Aronofsky clearly knew that one of the biggest problems with the whole Noah thing and the big ship thing was that if it's just Noah and his kids,
and his boys,
how do they build the damn thing?
Right.
And so Aronofsky came up with this whole thing that giants helped him build the boat.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
There are going to be giants?
There's going to be giants.
Oh, I'm delighted. Oh, that's so stupid. Oh, I am happy. Oh, this is going to turn into this is going to be another one of those movies that I just turn to again and again because I love a good stupid movie. We will turn this into a drinking game.
Okay.
We're going to turn we should
take Boozy to the movie.
We'll create the Thank God I'm Atheist Noah drinking game for you guys. And then you can play it at home. Every time X or Y happens.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. What were some of the other things that he kind of there's this whole this is like a classic it's actually sort of a swords and sandals movie, right? There's there are fight scenes.
Sure.
There's like the angry townspeople who want on the boat.
Right. They're coming after you.
And they're
Noah.
they're all descendants of Cain. These people,
right? Because they're bad.
Because Noah is the last righteous man on earth,
the only one,
and he has a very close relationship with someone that he calls the Creator, and never calls God.
Oh,
the word God apparently is at a certain point in the film. You go, oh, wait a second.
conspicuously
they have
missing?
never used the word God. Well, that's interesting to me.
That is interesting.
But whatever. So he goes about talking about this creator. He has like these, of course, it's Darren Aronofsky. So there's like crazy vision sequences, right? That kind of he has to interpret to figure out like that he needs to build this boat,
right,
and collect up all the animals. And apparently, the animals he doesn't actually go and collect out the animals. The animals just show up.
They just come.
They show up on cue. They all get into the boat and promptly fall asleep.
For 40 days and 40 nights or however long it is?
There's an indeterminate number of days that they're out at the...
Sure.
The script seems unclear as to how many days they're out there.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's enough days for the entire world to be drowned.
Yeah. Well, and it's a nice solution to a really sticky problem, which is wouldn't these things just start eating each other?
Right, yeah.
So
if they're sleepy time.
They just go to sleep.
And they don't poop, and they don't eat.
You can poo in your sleep.
Oh, do you have a story you need to tell us?
Shut up. I, fortunately, have never pooped in my sleep.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. Yeah, me neither.
Because that seems like...
That seems a problem.
Seems difficult.
Yeah.
You've got to, like... In that position, you'd have to be pushing pretty hard.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I know. I brought it up. It's my fault.
The logistics of pooing in bed actually seem difficult to me.
I don't know. I saw Train Spotting. I know it can happen.
Yeah.
That was a documentary, right? Anyway, by the way, I was looking for that article on LDS.org that I was referencing because I felt bad about referencing it without having it in front of me, but I couldn't find it. But what I did find was a reminder of one of the fun here. So I'm going to leave you guys with a fun fact about Mormons and Noah.
Oh, okay.
We've talked before about the fact that Adam, in the pre-existence, wasn't Adam,
right?
But was
Michael,
the archangel Michael,
right?
Guess who Noah was? Do you know that Noah was somebody else too?
I don't know, Gabriel.
Really? Noah is Gabriel.
Really?
Yeah. There you go. So after he died, he went on to tell Mary that she was going to get preggers from God.
Oh my God. I swear to God. Joseph Smith and Brigham Young said the dumbest things.
Joseph Smith.
Was that Joseph Smith?
That was Joseph Smith. That was Joseph Smith. That dude was high. That dude somehow got high.
Why was he just going around just mixing shit up? Like at a certain point, you gotta know that's gonna cause problems for you. He had no clue. He had followers. He had no clue that it was going to turn into some
He just
crazy thing.
He just thought, I'll just keep saying shit until they turn on me.
Imagine having like hundreds of people, thousands of people at one point in his life, right?
Yeah.
Like how many Mormons were there when Joseph Smith died?
Fuck if I know.
Had to be thousands.
Yeah. Oh,
right.
Definitely thousands.
Imagine having thousands of people who just like
hang on your every word.
Yeah.
Well, we do. Our listeners.
A little different.
We can't
make up
we
shit.
Can't just make things up.
No.
That's true. Our listeners are more discerning. So I think we've got better listeners than Joseph Smith had.
Yeah.
Good job, you guys.
Well done.
Way to go, skeptics. We like it.
But I mean, Joseph Smith's his little group of people. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. People who like would yeah.
We can't be too hard on them. We used to be some of them. That was part of our dealio.
Yeah, we were children who were indoctrinated into it. That's different, Dan.
Well, people in our past were not children who were indoctrinated into it. Your parents, my ancestors,
I know.
People I respect choose to join every day. So there you go.
I just don't get it.
Me neither. Well, if you have any insights into the movie Noah, or if you have any insights into why anyone would join one of these damn churches, please share it with us. You can write to us podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or leave us a voicemail at 424-666-8442.
Yeah, we love to hear your voice. You can also just interact with each other and us and everybody on the Facebook page run by Mackenzie. That's facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
Yeah, and thank you, Mackenzie, for all your help.
We sure appreciate it.
And thanks to the Red Rock Hot Club for the use of their music.
Love all of you guys. Have some fun out there in springtime.
Yeah. Bye-bye.